Hello, beautiful person, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Brad Chisholm, and I'm here to talk to you about HungerSolve on the administrative side. Once you reach the HungerSolve main page, you can select Login. We're going to log in with an administrative account. I'm not going to save the password. As you see here on our dashboard, it's a simple dashboard, we have food pickups. So the amount of food or boxes that you picked up overall from stores will be calculated here. Currently, this is demo information, demo data, because I don't want any copyright infringement or anything in that nature to be an issue. I want this program to be utilized by the masses, eventually, big corporations and nonprofits and other entities will be utilizing this. And I do hope that everybody can be involved in this platform that can possibly want to change the world. But nonetheless, right now, we're just utilizing demo information to get the data across. Here we see meals served, currently 295 meals served, which again, this is demo information. There is a live version of this working with a nonprofit, but again, currently I'm only utilizing demo information in here. You'll notice the boxes received today, obviously none, because we have not picked up anything. And also boxes donated are 0. The meals served, these are calculated by every 5 meals to 1 box. Thus, every 1 box that is given to a donor or somebody, a recipient of some source for the food, this gets calculated by the back end with the amount of boxes given, and then with the ratio of times 5. Right here it says current volunteers who have plugged in for operations. If you've looked at one of my other videos about the volunteers and the transporters about allowing themselves to clock in and clock out, their name will show up here. And when they clock in and when they clock out, and eventually I'm going to put their image to the left because it is my understanding that you may want their image as a reference. You may want their photograph as maybe to put on a vehicle as let's say a transporter is transporting goods. And you may not remember their name, or maybe this gets too big and, most people need to understand who is doing what. So you'll have their image. That image will eventually be attached to their map icon. And then you'll have their name and the type of volunteer that they are. If they're a transporter, if they're a volunteer. Over here to our right, we have a notifications tab. Currently, the only notifications that will show up is for your vehicles. Again, this is demo information, as you see here. What this information will show you is the type of vehicle, license plate number, and how many days until the registration for that vehicle is due. I will show you where to edit and view other vehicles shortly. Under My Business, we will have About My Business. About Your Business is all the details about your specific business. This is primarily designed for food banks or food distributors that work with restaurants, corporations, stores, and that will branch out. This application specifically is designed around the Senate bill, SB 1383. Probably one of the only bills that I will back because I don't like starving children, I don't like starving people, and I don't like this. And trying to build this application around that to help whomever I can. But nonetheless, and no, I've actually done this without any profits. This is all donated in my time and my talents, and I'm hoping it can benefit others. And we'll continue from there. Nonetheless, here under my business information or your business information or whomever is utilizing the platform, you can fill in the details about your business. This will eventually be processed. I think I've explained this in the store demonstration and the corporate demonstration when you are exporting your data. This information will be included in the data on the export very soon. We have the ability to change box weights. These box weights can vary. If you have your own calculations of what a banana box weight is for dairy or proteins or non-perishable, right now I've done a good estimate on how many cartons can fit in a banana box and their rough estimated weights. Proteins, I believe I utilized ribs, pork ribs, if I remember right. And their ability to stack with the whip, it came to about 60 pounds. Non-perishable, non-food, other perishable produce, prepared packages, and baked goods. Baked goods are typically light because it's breads, donuts, sweets, things like that. Under add another administrator, you can add as many administrators as you want within the platform. Vehicles. As I was explaining to you on the dashboard, this is where you see and edit your vehicles that are part of your fleet. You can set the registration. That way, you know when registration may be due, and that way you're not always having to check the vehicle in case somebody forgets. You'll at least have the platform to remind you as long as you set that data. If you don't set the data, obviously, the program's going to give you this information. But you're allowed your vehicle name, the vehicle type, vehicle number, vehicle box capacity, the license plate, the vehicle towing capacity, and the vehicle options. Now, I was updating the code today at 1/16/2025 for this page, and I was thinking about if a company uses a bigger vehicle, as I inputted these two vehicles, 2020 International MV607 and the 2018 Isuzu NPR. I was thinking, well, they might have a liftgate, and I noticed I did not include a liftgate with vehicle options, so I may have to add that in the future. I might even offer the ability to update this yourselves. So if there's a feature that may not be out, if there's a feature that I might not know about, you won't be limited. So I might add that feature in the near future. Requests. Add a pickup. All the stores that are inside the system will automatically be populated in this list, and you could select whatever store you would like as part of this add a pickup. Add a pickup is generally for a store or a restaurant. If you're the administrator, you have the option to set the transporter. So if you have multiple transporters part of your organization, you can set that transporter. The vehicles, as I was showing you previously, will automatically get populated in this list, so you can choose your vehicle. Now, in the near future, I might actually update this page as well. It was a thought where, based on weight due to the dairy boxes, then maybe certain vehicles will no longer be an option if they can't carry the weight or box capacity. I was thinking about that. I may add that in the near future. Here we have the from date and time. You could set date and time that you're going to pick up, how long it may be. Let's say you set it for an hour, but it ends up being 2 hours. I'll show you where you could modify that in the future. Memo. We could set a memo for the driver or for the store. They should both be able to read this. In case a transport goes out, they need to know who to talk to at the store. Maybe the store called and said, a certain manager will not be available, and so you need to talk to the district manager or whomever that may be part of the process. Here we have the total weight and the total boxes. These automatically get calculated based on the amount in these fields, and the information for the total weight is captured from change box rates. So let's set those boxes. And it automatically gives you the total boxes and the total weight. Where the vehicles are, depending on what vehicle you have and the box capacity, you could set that under vehicles. And thus, I'm going to eventually use that information to automatically calculate if there is too many boxes need to be picked up that a Ford 2023 transit cargo van cannot hold, then it's going to eliminate any cargo van or any vehicle that has or that does not have the capacity to handle the X being a variable number. Then it'll then move to the next vehicle. Here we have add a box pickup. Add a box pickup is for food requests. Any of your donors, your house of worships, ministries, your recovery centers, they will all be populated within this field. Their phone number will automatically populate in here, so you do not need to worry about their phone number as long as their data is in the system. The estimated time of arrival. When do they want to be here, or when do you think you want them to be here? And what I mean by when you think is if you're on the phone with this individual and they say, I would like to come in for whatever amount of food, you could set their date that they specify or that you specify, and then you can let them know that they can come in at that certain date. You could find out how many people they are feeding. So let's say it is a house of worship and you want to, maybe the first time they only pick up for 25 individuals or 20 to 25 individuals. And maybe the next time they want to feed more. You could then calculate the amount of boxes you offer them and then process the request. Add a cleaning. These are for farmers. But what kind of farmer is incorporated in here? So if you're going to give them any excess food, any foods that should not be consumed by humans, but are fine being consumed by animals, you can have that listed. If it's a biofuel farmer or whatever kind of farmer, their information can be listed here. Their name will populate, and then I'll also tell you what kind of farmer they are. Here you can set the dates. They should be there at your location. Memos. Boxes. This is how they get calculated, and then you can submit. I would like to inform you that at a pickup, at a box pickup, and at a cleaning, when the information is populated and submit the data, it automatically gets inputted into the calendar. As you see here, here's a couple of requests. One from a farmer, one from a store. See how many boxes. And then it's color coordinated for different type of events. And I'll go into that in the near future if I have time in the video. I will also allow the individual soon to be able to change the colors. So that way, if you don't like my color schemes, you could choose your own. Okay, we have verification requests. Verification requests for a store. These are also inputted for the transporter. You'll be able to see, oh, excuse me, you know what? I messed up my own information. This specific one is for volunteers and administrators only, this section. And I'll show you the transport jobs that are then part of this operation as well. But give me a moment. Right here we have the verification requests. We have view pickups. You can see the pickups. You can see what the store is from. I don't want anybody editing this additional information because it should be set. You'll see the memo. And then true amount of boxes. So if there was a box, so driver picked up boxes and they brought maybe different boxes back to the shop, you could change that information. And that way, you know what the store requested or you requested up from the store if you were on the phone with them. But then something changed. Let's say someone said that you only had one dairy box that you're going to get, but you ended up with 4. You can change that information, and that way you have what they said, what is true, and you have backup data for not just the store, not just the corporation itself as well. This way, the Senate Bill 1383, I believe everyone has to be accountable. And this should make everybody accountable and to verify that things are true. And nobody should edit any additional information except add what is true, if that makes sense. Right down here, if everything is true from an administrator or a volunteer, all you have to do is check this box, and all the data from these boxes will get transferred over. And right here is to select and agree that you feel all data is accurate to the best of your ability. So if you did your counts and verified your accounts, you can only be so true. You can select this box right here and you see a verify button. Then you select verify and process your request. It'll automatically get saved and it should be taken out of this request. So that way you don't have to verify it again. We have view food request. So these are for the donors, the volunteers, the transporters, the ministries, the house of worships, the recovery centers. They will all get displayed here with the requested amount of food, who they're trying to feed, their phone number, again, what they requested, what was prepared. So with what was requested, as I was explaining before, if they wanted to feed a certain amount of people, and you as an organization know, okay, one box is most likely not going to feed 10 people unless you're going to give them small rations, which you may be able to do. But if you are being more generous, making sure that you have plenty of food to give to others, but also you wanted to make sure that this organization or this donor was able to feed their requirements, you can go ahead and select edit here and update this information. And it will automatically update this information. Do your demonstration. We will put in 2, 3, there's already 4 there, so 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? Produce, I think we're going to go select utilize 10. And true baked goods, you always need to break some bread. Let's choose 12. Let's select update. As you see, it's a live update. It'll automatically update the field so that way you know what was prepared. If it was ready, if it is ready, go ahead and select ready. Now, when you select ready, the email that's associated with this recipient will get emailed letting you know their food is ready to be picked up. So if they were going to come in at, let's utilize tomorrow of this video, that would be 1/17/2025, and it is prepared today at 1/16/2025. If everything is ready, they should know. This way you can either prepare it that same day, prepare it for a day ahead of time, however you utilize your operation. Hopefully it's ready the same day that they're about to pick up. This way food doesn't spoil, or unless you have the capabilities of keeping it protected. Nonetheless, if it was acquired or not acquired. Now, the reason why this is important is because let's say, for instance, donor 2 here likes to request food from your organization every week. But maybe donor 2 doesn't always pick up every week. Maybe they pick up every other week. You could process a request, and then you can click on acquired. No, they did not pick up for that week or this order or that day, and it will keep a running query of how many times this donor picked up and didn't pick up. This way you know you have information. I'll show you that in the near future, but we're going to show some more future. But when you know in the future, if they're a valued recipient, or if you should pack the boxes ahead of time, if you should reserve certain produce or certain meats. Maybe they request, I have a barbecue and I need ribs, but you know another donor constantly picks up every week and they also enjoy ribs. You can make the choice of saying, okay, who's going to actually pick up? Who's going to be more likely to pick up? And you can give them that information. You can give them the ribs according to your data. Again, we're going to go back to calendar. You'll see your month, day, and week, and list day and list week. And that will populate, show you what is coming up. This calendar is specifically designed for big TVs. So if you have a big TV or a big screen in where your volunteers pack the food, this will automatically refresh every 60 seconds. So anything that gets processed within the system, this calendar will automatically get updated every 60 seconds. That's including if the driver picks up or is out on a pickup. And I'll show you that in the future. So we have volunteers. You can add a volunteer. You can view volunteers. You'll have your volunteer name, phone number, your address, city, state, zip, ability to modify. Right now I have as read-only fields as I'm updating this modify user page. But then I'm also going to add a couple fields, as I was suggesting earlier, that it tells you how many times this individual picked up, how many times this individual didn't pick up the food. And this way, you have a true calculation. If you know this donor is good, maybe, if you have an excess amount of food that you get in and or get a charitable donation or charity, a good charity is worthy. You know they come in for lots of food and they want to make sure that they feed a lot of people. You can have that information knowing that that charity is going to pick up, and you can call that charity based on your numbers, letting them know that you have excess amount of food that you need to distribute and you need to distribute quickly. You guys view hours volunteered by your volunteers. I'll give you a list. I'm going to clean that page up eventually. But you can see how many seconds, minutes, hours, days, months they worked within this one chunk of time. Now, hopefully this doesn't turn into months because I know in California law that's not legal. But our fun legal system is an interesting concept. Nonetheless, if you are an administrator, you are allowed to edit their time for this one day. The reason why you're allowed to edit the time is because let's say your volunteer checks in or your transporter checks in, but they forget to check out. And let's say you have cameras with the timestamps, so you know when they actually left, they didn't check out. So you can edit their data and set their checkout time. Eventually, I'm going to clean this up as well and make it a little nicer. Give you the total hours per week, 2 hours per week, and per year, and then you can allow your volunteers and your transporters to see their information, their time they've worked, under their profile. And that should be part of the demonstration video that I have posted for the volunteers. It should be up under my account. Excuse me. We're going to go ahead and select transporters. So you can see that. You can add a transporter. You can view the transporters. And then you can view transporter jobs. These are the jobs assigned to no one at this current moment. And then under the transporter, if you are under a certain transporter name, then you're going to see all the transporter jobs associated with that name only. You can view the job just like you can under a transporter. And let's choose this one. It will give you the estimated miles to destination between your home base, which you've set under My Business and About My Business, and then the address that you're going to give you the estimated mile. That way you know how much fuel, excuse me, and then I'm going to eventually incorporate this data with vehicles as well. And this way, if certain vehicles are en route and you want to make sure that one vehicle has the ability or capabilities to collect multiple stores in a single run to conserve gas, to make sure that you have logistics properly managed, I will eventually add that inside this platform and allow you to make better judgment calls. And then it'll automatically calculate as well, where if you're trying to ask for a request and you have maybe 2 to 3 jobs assigned to the vehicle, and let's say that vehicle only can go maybe 300 miles, then you can utilize 300 miles within a single tank of gas to calculate how many stores they can get to. Also estimating, because I live in California, I know the traffic around here. I will probably put a variable for simple traffic and just in case of a car accident, and then I will try to find a platform that may be able to take on additional logistics that I can incorporate their API inside this platform. But I haven't found something that is suitable at this point in time, but I'll look into some future stuff. I was looking into Mapbox and ESRI's mapping systems, and I think I can write some code in order to add the additional details, but first I'm going to finish getting this platform moving, and then I'll start incorporating other APIs. Also, text. I'm going to incorporate text into this as well, not just you. But let's continue. Farmers. You can add a farmer as administrator, and you can view your farmers. You can see their representative name, farm type, phone number, address, city, state, zip. And again, modify. Nothing is accessible. You cannot change the data at this point in time, because I want to have the ability to utilize one page for multiple applications, but then I want to have that ability where it is a certain individual, certain type, then they can only see certain fields. Ministries. You can add a ministry and you can view ministries. The other represents name, ministry name, phone number, etc., etc. Simple data, but it's going to be impactful for whomever utilizes the platform. Now we have restaurants. I'm going to add a restaurant, and you can view restaurants. Recovery centers, same thing. You can view recovery centers. House of worships. House of worships can be temples, can be Church of Jesus Christ. You can Jehovah's Witnesses. There's Buddha, Allah, whomever is your God of choice. Then you can definitely utilize this. I didn't choose to go down every single type of church or house of worship or a temple. I just figured house of worship should suffice for all. Stores, one of my favorite parts, as well as corporations, and not because I enjoy corporations, because you can be allowed to do more things with the platform. Again, this is as Senate Bill 1383 is designed for stores, restaurants to manage their food and then allow corporations to see their data, as well as keeping food banks and everybody else stocked with food to give to others. So my main focus, and when I started this platform, it was actually for stores and corporations. And then I realized we need to start incorporating a lot of people, a lot of entities. So for stores, you could add a store. You could view your stores. Obviously, I have a lot of stores in here for demonstration purposes. Then you could see the store data per store, and then how many boxes that were donated. This is demo information, just so we're aware when you look at this. And then you can see the total weights of pickups. The reasons why this is blank is because as I was programming, I was fixing errors, and so it tells me where I started getting everything proper. Nonetheless, it'll tell you the total of all stores listed. Eventually, I'll have the ability, because I am hard coding all this, and I'm coding it where it allows you the flexibility. A lot of this isn't utilizing outsource APIs. So that's why you don't see all the special bells and whistles, is because I want to make sure that this is self-contained. But nonetheless, I'll eventually have the features where you can separate and just look by a single store, or maybe a geographical location. That one you may need to inform me about if you want that specific data. Maybe just certain picked up days that you want, and then it will display the data for that specific day. But then it shows you the boxes. But then when you select export CSV or Excel file, it will give you the additional information of the estimated box that should have been picked up, and then the true boxes that were picked up, the total weights of the boxes. Thus, you can change the weights as needed for a certain pickup if you need to. I might incorporate that feature into the request, but when I was thinking about this, a general base for each box should suffice. But if that data needs to change, or if you feel that it should change at a later time, please let me know. I would definitely enjoy your comments and your input as I continue writing this application for global market. Now, you can also print the report, and we can continue from there. After the stores, now we go down here to corporations. Okay, add a corporation, and then you can view a corporation. And as you see, there's the modify and the grant store access. Now, you'll see additional information when you look at the corporation video that I posted. If you have not seen that yet, please look in my profile on YouTube, and you should be able to see the HungerSolve corporations section when they log in and their dashboard. Now again, you can modify, but these fields are not editable at the moment. This is one section 2. I don't want the donation or this platform to be able to modify corporations or stores, because usually those are in LLC. And so I don't want a lot of this data to be modified. I want the corporations to be able to modify their own data, because obviously it's a corporation, right? But I do want, let's say the corporation here needs to be inputted because maybe a corporation, a high value corporation, is not completely registered with this platform, but they simply want an email. When the user gets created, an email will get sent to verify that user. As an administrator, the user will not get verified. They'll automatically get inputted into the system with no verification. Now, if you're interested in an email being sent as the administrator creates to a select email, if that email is correct, then that email may get a notification stating that there's an account that based on that email, giving the account details. But I'm not sure if I should add that yet. Nonetheless, let's go back under View Corporations. Now you saw the list of stores. See all these stores right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stores. This will automatically get populated when you go under Grant Store Access. Basically, grant store access to a corporation. So let's say you have a high value corporation, but you don't want that high value corporation to see stores that don't belong to that corporation. You're able to check mark the stores that this corporation is able to see and process the data. As you click, you press submit, the corporation will automatically get updated. The system will automatically get updated so everything is live. Everything is at the click of a button. The moment it happens, it grants you that access. Now, as a corporation, you might have an entity with a list of stores, or restaurants. And we don't want a high value corporation that may only have stores to have access to restaurants. It's obviously two different entities. For security reasons, we don't want to give that access to corporations. We don't want that data to be loose. But the administrator on the back end of this platform is able to grant the corporation the select restaurant, select stores, and that way when that corporation logs in, they're able to see all the restaurants and the data for those restaurants or the data for the stores. And that should cover the entire base order requirements for the Senate Bill 1383. And as I get more knowledge and as I look into things a little bit more and what else may be needed, I'll add more features. And I think that is it for this very moment. I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize for being so long, but I hope it's very informative and I hope people start utilizing this more. Thank you for your time and thank you for your interest in HungerSolve. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye now.